seen it all, from cubicle fights to the bathroom stall brawls. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here. From the break room drama to the boss that's here. We hate it here, oh, we hate it here. So grab a seat, it's hard from here. Office gossip, Twitter jams, management schemes, and toxic plans. You jump and jump, oh, we can relate. Welcome to work life, the thing we all hate. Office gossip, career jams, management schemes, and toxic plans. Your job's a joke, oh, we can relate. Welcome to work life, the thing we all hate. Erika and Marissa have seen it all, from cubicle fights to the bathroom stall brawls. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here. From the break room drama to the bosses here. We hate it here, oh, we hate it here. So grab a seat, it's horror premiere.
Oh, where's Marissa? What the fuck? This has already thrown me off. Hey, everyone. There we go. My God.
Hi.
We're gone for 2 weeks, and I'm like, what happened? I don't know why I kicked you off of it.
I don't know. It
All
was
right.
just like, no.
Let's start this all over again. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of I Hate It Here. My name is Erika.
I'm Marissa.
Thank you for hopping on the Hotmess Express.
All aboard. Welcome to the Hotmess Express. Choo choo.
I swear, it's like we take one fucking week off and something crazy always happens.
Always. Always.
I know, but last week we took off, guys, because it was pre 4th of July. I had family in town, and we did. And you know what, guys? We're just not in the mood to. Again, the world is burning. Marissa and I are trying our best to keep our sanity together.
Yep.
And not completely spiral about world happenings on this fucking show every week.
Every week, right? So we had to take some time off and hang out with family and touch grass. It feels like that's what we had to do.
Yeah, and although it was like 4th of July weekend, we weren't out celebrating America's birthday because we're not loving America right now.
No, we're
mad at America.
We're tussling for a little bit.
We are. We didn't really. I mean, we hung out that day.
Mm-hmm.
We just went to the community pool.
Mm-hmm.
Came back to my house. Just grilled some stuff. Hung out here. You guys left early because of your dog, and my aunt and uncle who live in the same community were dog sitting for their daughter. And also had to leave because of their dog, because it looks like Baghdad in this neighborhood, in this community, every New Year's and 4th of July.
Every holiday. I don't know where they get so many fireworks, but every holiday it's fireworks galore.
You know what though? This year
it was
nobody in my little corner of my cul-de-sac loopy type of thing. Popped fireworks, but it was still so loud. Yeah, the house that typically gets crazy. I mean, it must be the tariffs, Marissa, that fireworks were so expensive. People didn't buy them this year, but they did not. But still, we still drugged my dogs and had to make sure that they were safe and okay from the nonsense. But yeah, fucking 4th of July didn't have to deal with in my face fireworks. I should say, still heard them loud as fuck, but yeah. But
not as bad.
Yeah, that is. Okay, Marissa. So speaking of 4th of July,
mm-hmm.
We're not going to get into the ranting because, again, you and I did that before, and we don't want to spiral about the world burning right now.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I don't really have anything to bitch about personally. Neither do you.
No.
The world burning is enough for us. So let's just get right into the show. But speaking of 4th of July, so I was on TikTok, as I am, right?
Okay.
And this whole story has completely spiraled. I just saw Tia pop up into the chat that I even told her about this. I was like, have you gotten onto this side of TikTok yet? She's like, no. The craziest story. So this lady posts on the 4th of July evening crying that she had gone to a a party. She was invited to a party. Her little boy has a friend, and his mom, they just moved to that area, right?
Okay.
And that mom invited her and her son, or her children, to go to that 4th of July party that she was kind of co-hosting, right?
Okay.
They were going to do it at somebody's house, like a neighborhood. It was like a neighborhood thing. So like at a neighbor's house, they were hosting it at their property. They were like doing food, blah, blah, blah. But she was supplying the fireworks type of thing. So they were kind of co-hosting it.
Okay.
And invited her and the lady, right? The new lady. The lady was like, sure, I'll be there. Made this like beautiful antipasti salad to take to the event. Like it was like tomatoes that she grew from her own garden.
Oh my goodness.
She made the mozzarella.
Dang.
Right. This huge tray, beautiful, like a salad that she took. She gets there, her son runs off. The lady who invited her and her mom, she's got the salad. They walk her to the house to put the salad down. And she's kind of introducing herself to people and like, hey, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. And then this man, she says, walks out from the bathroom or, looks at her, kind of mumbles something and like walks out. And then all of a sudden this older lady comes in and is like, who are you?
Oh.
And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I got, my name's blah, blah, blah. I got invited from, I got invited by, I'm here. And she's like, well, my son owns this house. He was just here and he doesn't know you and he doesn't want you in his house. And she was like, what the fuck? Like what happened?
No.
Right. So she was like, oh my God. So kind of got a little like what's happening with this thing. And like got her feelings hurt. So she just kind of like, because people started kind of being rude about it. Right. So she dumps her little beer out that she had just gotten. No, she took one beer. I'm lying. She took her own little beer because she had to drive and whatever. So she's like, I took one beer and the salad. So I dumped my beer out and I just like was in tears and I left. So that the neighbor who had invited her felt really bad and was like completely embarrassed, gave her a bag of like fireworks and was like, I'm so sorry. And so she left and she was totally like embarrassed and humiliated and like, what was that about?
Of course. Right?
Totally gobsmacked and went home and she is a content creator on TikTok. She does a lot of like, she's an herbalist and she's a baker and cooks and blah, blah, blah. So she does like, she's got her own little channel or whatever going on on TikTok. And so she goes and she posts like a video of herself crying in the car, telling the story. And she's just like, I was just humiliated. Like, this is so embarrassing. Like the TikTok explodes, millions upon millions of views.
Oh,
yes. So let me catch you up on, okay. I know it was a lot of information. So there's this one lady who kind of sums it up together a little more for you guys. So let's play that video and then I'll get into more of it.
Okay.
Today that my husband knows nothing about antipasto talk. So it required some visuals. So I thought there's probably a lot of you who are seeing antipasto but don't know what this is all about. Nicole is the heroine of the story. She just moved to the area and she doesn't know anybody. Her son and this boy are friends. The friend's mom is Samantha, and Samantha invited Nicole to a 4th of July party that this neighborhood was having. Samantha and her mom, and then this couple, Stacia, Jake, and Jake's mom, Melissa, all live in the neighborhood. And they were having a 4th of July party. Nicole and Samantha are texting back and forth with Nicole offering to bring an antipasto salad. She's very grateful she's being invited because she needs to meet people. She's new to the neighborhood. Now, Samantha texts Stacia, the wife of this house, that her son and his best friend are getting dropped off at the party by Nicole. And Nicole is bringing an antipasto salad. And she even texted the picture of the antipasto salad because Nicole had texted it to Samantha, so Samantha had texted it to Stacia. Now, 4th of July comes and Nicole shows up to Jake's house. She's in the kitchen, dropping off the salad, is chatting with Samantha and her mom. Now, Nicole doesn't know anybody, so she's like introducing herself to people. And at some point in all this, Jakey Pie comes inside the house and goes to the bathroom, and he sees that this woman is in his kitchen. So he goes outside where his mommy is and says, "There's a stranger in my house." Mommy goes inside the house and asks Nicole, "Who are you? What are you doing here? My son owns this house and he's not comfortable with you being here." So Nicole is escorted out of the property, and on her way out, somebody says, "Welcome to the neighborhood, bye." So Nicole feels like shit. She feels embarrassed and humiliated because she came to this party invited by a host of the party, right? Because this is a neighborhood party. And she takes her son and the friend, because he didn't want to stay with these people, and they leave. She then posts on TikTok in tears, saying how she felt humiliated and embarrassed, and explained the whole situation. This was 4th of July evening. TikTok, being what it is, found out who Stacia and Jake are and bombarded all of their social media with all kinds of lessons on hospitality. They woke up Saturday morning thinking they'd gone viral, and when they open it up, not so positive messaging. So Jake's mommy comes to the rescue again, and she posts a TikTok, and she wants to clarify that not everything Nicole said was the truth. This was not a party. She was misinformed. This was a get-together of neighbors and people who know each other. And Stacia and Jake offered to host the property because they had the biggest property. Melissa was making the food, and Samantha and her mom were bringing the fireworks. So they very much were co-hosts. She had every right to invite her. But according to Melissa, this was a get-together only for people that they know. And this isn't a party, it's a cookout. Oh, and when Melissa is telling her side of the story, she keeps talking about this strange lady that came into the house. Strange lady this, strange lady that. And the rest of us sane people are like, what strange lady? You knew that this woman was going to come to the party with her son and the neighbor's son with a salad. So why are we all of a sudden demonizing her and calling her a strange lady? If anything, these two are the strange ladies. Now, Stacia posts her own little TikTok telling her version, and it basically says the same thing that Nicole said. But her justification is that she had a stranger in her house and they were protecting their property. Mind you, again, they are having a neighborhood party that they agreed to host. And so when Nicole left, she left empty-handed. And the Hicks, mind you, I'm not calling them Hicks, that's actually their name, ironically, kept the antipasto salad. This is the beautiful antipasto salad that apparently was so threatening to these people, they had to kick out the chef. Now, why does the world love Nicole and this antipasto salad? Because Nicole here grew these tomatoes. These tomatoes are from her garden, and she made the cheese. And look at how big this thing is, full of deli meats and pickled stuff and balsamic. Nicole called this a $40 salad, but all of us know this is a $100+ salad. And we have all since seen Jake and Stacia's house. They were dogs, but what we saw is that they live in the sticks. And no shame for living where anybody lives, but the audacity to claim that a stranger was in your house on the day that you were hosting a party, and she came with this beautiful, delicious-looking salad, many are saying is likely worth more than anything in this house. I mean, really, these two and Mommy Dearest just keep digging their own grave, deeper and deeper. And Stacia and Jake are getting death threats, and now Nicole is being harassed, likely by people sent by these three, of course. The sheriff's name is being thrown around. Her son has been doxxed. Her husband's being accused of sending threatening voicemails to the sheriff. So there's a lot of drama. And this has gone all over the world, and everyone is Team Nicole, of course. Because these people, they just don't sound sane. You know, normally in these dramas, one side, there's the other side, and there's the truth. And some people believe here, and some people believe here. But in this situation, they've basically confirmed what they've done. So anyways, now everybody loves Nicole and all the food that she grows and the recipes that she makes, and we all now have the recipe for this lovely antipasto salad. And if you never knew what an antipasto salad is, there you go. The
Holy shit.
So much to take in, right? Like, it's so I just so happen to have gotten her story. Like, I don't know who this lady is, who Nicole is. Like, I had never followed her, but it just fell on my For You page. And I was just like, oh, this poor lady, like, how embarrassing. And then, of course, the comments were like, what is wrong with those people? Like, why would they throw you out? Right.
Yeah.
So then I didn't really look at TikTok that much the following day. Then on Sunday, it had blown up, Marissa. Like, at this point, I didn't see the mother-in-law of the Stacia and Jake who were hosting the party. Like, I didn't see any of her videos, but I saw all the spin-off videos like this lady's making, right?
Okay.
And I swear to God, like, they tried to come back and make themselves be like the good guys, and they just keep digging themselves into a deeper grave, right? Talking about this wasn't a party; it was a get together. It was a barbecue. Well, that a get together is a party, and regardless, if you're hosting something, how dare you? Like, what kind of human being are you to ask somebody like who, like, get out of my house, or like to see something like that? Wouldn't you go introduce yourself? Like, hi, like, we have parties at my house all the time, Marissa. You know that. And my family knows that they can invite whoever they want. You know, you could invite whoever you want, and everybody's always going to be received, right? It's always the more the merrier with us. And so it's always like, you go introduce yourself because you're the host. Like, hey, I'm Erika. Thanks for coming over. Sorry, a little bug just put in my face.
Oh, you're good.
But anyhow, like, my name's Erika. Thank you for coming over. Or like the person who brought you will also introduce like something, but you don't say, I'm taking care of my house. This is not a party. This is a gathering for people who know each other, and kick this person out after bringing such a lovely like gift. That's crazy to me.
I mean, this is where you kind of get into this whole, first of all, you're a grown-ass man. Why do you got to go tell your mom? Like, that's crazy already. Like, that is insane. You're a grown man. You have a fucking mortgage, and you can't go introduce yourself like the fucking big boy that you are and be like, hi, I'm the owner of this house. Nice to meet you. Who invited you? Da 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 da. Like, come on now. Like, that is just basic things. Now, the fact that somebody murmured on her as she was being kicked out, welcome to the neighborhood, that was pre-planned. You're not going to tell me otherwise, because then how is it that you don't know that this person is coming when they were notified? Like, that's not defensible in any way, shape, or form. You all people, you knew she was coming. You all just didn't like her for some reason, whatever it was, then say that. But don't sit there and pretend like you did nothing wrong by going and telling your mom. Like, how old are you, 2? Come on.
Crazy. So then the wife does the video, as that lady said, but hers is just confirming, like, we don't know this lady. Like, we're just taking care of our house. So then, of course, the internet being the internet is like, what's this house that you need to protect?
Right.
And then they find this house that, honestly, guys, like, does not need protecting. Like, you're just like, oh, you're throwing people out of that? Like, what the hell's going on, right? And then, so now, like, the people who were hosting the party, their last name is the Hicks. So the Hicks closed down their social media. Oh, because he did call her, the husband, by the way, did call to apologize. And the lady, Nicole, luckily she recorded it, right? She recorded the call. She was smart enough, and she played it for everybody on TikTok. And it was him basically saying, like, he did not apologize. It was not a true apology. It was one of those, I'm sorry you felt this way.
Oh, hells no.
But honestly, we didn't know you were coming. Yeah, whatever, or Samantha, let us know that you were, like, we thought it was just going to be your, like, we thought you were just going to drop off your kids. Who in 2025 is just dropping off their kids at a stranger's house?
That makes it even worse. Like, how is this okay? That makes it, I mean, honestly, if you all just didn't want her there, then you should have said that. You should have pulled the co-host aside and be like, hey, you know what? We're not really comfortable with you inviting someone that we don't know, because it is your house. At the end of the day, yes, it is your home and you make the rules, right? Like, that is your home. But if you are saying, hey, I'm willing to be like to host a neighborhood get together, then be prepared to have people you don't know in that household. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to sit there and tell me that you know every single person that lives around you, because I know I don't. I mean, I know the neighbors, but if I'm having a neighborhood party and they show up with their son or their grandchildren, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, it is what it is. If you're saying it's a community thing, then act like community.
I mean, and at that, like, they knew though, Marissa, they knew she was going over. Everybody was well aware.
Exactly.
And for him to say like, oh yeah, we knew we thought you were just gonna drop off your kids. That's a whole another level of like, I'm sorry, pedophile. Why did you just want my kids there? Like, that's some creepy shit.
That part.
Sorry. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay. Like, how would you just drop off your kid at a stranger's house? No,
it's beyond me. I don't know.
You wouldn't. And so anyhow, it has like again, like this lady that with her little whiteboard, which by the way, I was inspired. I'm like, oh my God, with some of these stories, I need to get a whiteboard behind me and get up and start like drawing for you guys.
Yes.
These, like mapping it out for you guys, because some of these stories get crazy.
That would be helpful.
I'm not going to do that. That's too much effort. I'm not that motivated. But people from Ireland are like, in it, like people all over the world, people are all chiming in. Everybody is very anti the Hicks, saying that they were wrong. So because of that, the Hicks tried to get their sheriff to scare the couple. Like he stopped by and left their like his card. I don't know why. Like they're like now trying to intimidate them. They had somebody pretended like did a fake phone call to it was a phone call pretending to be Nicole's husband, Chris, calling the sheriff, trying to threaten the sheriff. But like, so the stupid part is, right, that they call and they're like, are you like, what's going on? We got this phone call, whatever. And of course, again, they were smart and they recorded the phone call and played it on TikTok, right? So of course you get like the firsthand scoop. And they were like, what did this person like? No, we didn't do that. What did this person sound like? And they're clearly northern, like because they're from Vermont, so have like a different accent than like the southern
South.
You know what I mean? The person who called to supposedly threaten the sheriff, pretending he was the husband, once he starts like really getting like outraged or whatever on the call, like his southern drawl is right in there. You know what I mean? Like not pronouncing like or just southern drawl is all I'm going to say, right?
Okay.
And so they're like, that clearly doesn't sound like my husband who you're talking to right now. And the officer's like, yeah, you're right. Like it just got out of hand, Merce, is what I'm trying to say, over a fucking person who just wanted to be friends and went over with an antipasta salad.
This is why I don't like people, guys. This is why you do the wave at your neighbors. Just, do the wave and that's it. That's all you do.
I'm friendly enough with my neighbors. The neighbor that I really like moved, and the new neighbor we're just hello, goodbye.
Yeah, you keep it civil.
Yeah.
You keep it civil. But that's why, like, I mean, for Halloween, actually, they bought a house down the street and they did this whole neighborhood thing and they passed out flyers and everything. But, I was just like, oh, great, thanks. Like, hi, wave, hi and bye, and that's it. Like, if you're going to be a host, then be a host. If you want to live in a community and have that communal relationship with your neighbors, that you guys are carpooling together, because people do have that where they want to be a part of that community, then you can't just sit there and be like, but you're a stranger. You got to pick one. You got to be consistent with what you want. And also just goes to show they're shitty people. And again, I just cannot believe a grown-ass man had to go tell his mommy that there's a stranger in a house. And then this full grown ass woman had to go tell another grown ass woman, who are you? Da-da-da, not even the owner of the house.
Yeah. And now
Like,
those
that's
people are trying to
insane.
start like a GoFundMe for I don't for whoever's
what?
being assholes. I don't know, but it's just wild that this is the internet, and one little story like that can just fucking go across the world. And
But the sad part is that now this poor lady and her family are gonna have a hard time in the place that they live in, and I
oh
think
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the part that I think people don't understand. And these people doing prank phone calls to the sheriff and doing,
Mhm.
you guys think it's funny, but it's not. It's real life. These people are being affected in real life.
Yeah.
This little boy has to go to school now with the kids of all of these parents
Mhm.
that are not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's real life. There's a difference between the internet and real life. And a lot of people don't measure the consequences of real life. And it sucks for them because all they were trying to do is be friendly and get to know people where they lived. Because moving sucks. Moving to a new area where you don't know
Mhm.
anybody, like, that sucks. And when you're trying to make, friends with people or trying to just get to know people, for that to happen, that's horrendous.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know.
people,
And
man.
then of course our chat agrees with us. Everybody.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that were here for the whiteboard. That explanation was
I
chef's
know.
kiss,
That's why
and we love
I
that.
found it, and I was like, she's doing a way better job than I would, and we are going to use this little video and her explanation. Bravo. She needs to break down more internet stories like that for us.
You know what? I've noticed that I'm a sucker for a whiteboard. I follow a lot of creators that when you can explain to me with a drawing, I'm like, yes, I
You're a
understand
visual
this now.
learner.
I am. I am. But going into the chat, it looks like Tia says the trailer park trash going to be trailer park trash. Shake my head. Adam says, I've been to parties where legit strangers come and we don't even kick them out. I've had that happen to me in all my kids' parties. When my kids were smaller, I would throw parties for them at like the pizza place or, things like that. I'd always end up like, whose kid is this? I don't know, but here's a gift bag. Like, here's a candy bag.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. You don't kick them out.
Yeah, little kids wander over from other like places. You give them a piece of cake, you give them a cupcake, you like.
Yeah. It happened to me more times than I could count. Adam says, I've been to parties. Oh, I already read that one. Lisa says, I definitely would have taken my antipasto with me when I left. I think that's the part that's shitty. Like, you have the audacity to fucking kick me out and you eat my food? Hell's no.
Oh no, they had the nerve on one of the videos. I'm telling you, I went down the spiral and I was watching all these spin-off videos or whatever. And in one of the spin-off videos, somebody mentioned that she supposedly was like, oh no, we threw that salad out. Like, that was a big, like, she was owning Nicole. Like, that was a big win for her. I'm like, you guys missed out.
That looked phenomenal, number one. I'm hungry now.
And that was a really bad picture of it. So
it looked like the size was really big. We all know I think the lady said that's $100 over.
Yeah.
Worth of stuff. And she hand made the cheese. That's crazy. That's commitment. Good for her. I could never. Just know, guys, that if I ever cook, I'm not hand making cheese. That's all I'm saying. Not hand making cheese. Mia says, this is why I don't make eye contact with my neighbors. I'm good with pals, right? Fluggy says a bunch of silly geese. Everybody's agreeing with Mia. So many levels of wrong. Adam with the question, wonder if she was MAGA. And I want to clarify her, if Nicole or the couple.
I'm going to say the couple.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Tia says, yeah, I'm just going to leave my kid with a whole bunch of strangers I don't know. That's outrageous.
I'm just going to drop off my elementary age child
with a bunch of people I don't know my child. Sure. Adam says, my new upstairs neighbor, quote unquote plays bass, I might go to jail soon.
Adam, that's coming from Adam, who would play guitar and on his little amp in his household.
Ooh.
When he had roommates, and I told him if I was your roommate, I would have gotten that fucking amp and thrown it out the door.
Maybe a little karma sprinkling in.
Maybe. All right, guys, let's move on to the workplace horror story.
All right,
this is a good one. Okay. So it goes, I'm a part of an incredibly progressive, supportive team where one of my responsibilities in my organization's social media. Okay. So she's part of the social media team. In 6 months, I have made 3 errors within tweets, 2 of which were mixing up dates that 2 very similar events were happening on, and 1 of which was just a formatting error. Okay.
Okay.
One coworker from a different department who does not work with social media in any capacity replies to the errors from her personal Twitter. So from her account, we'll call the company error out.
First of all, why are you following on your personal socials your companies? Like, that is crazy.
No.
To me.
No, I am not. No. She's tagging in our CEO's personal Twitter to shout out the mistakes. She then emails a screen grab to my entire team, the person I manage, my manager, and my grand boss, demanding that my grand boss check all my social media communications before they are posted, which would be ridiculous. Obviously, in an ideal world, I would not be making any errors on social media, but 3 tweets in 6 months does not seem like a bad hit rate. Also, our social tone is playful and conversational and usually quite informal. Should I ask my manager to ask this woman to lay off me or do it myself? There's an update. So what would you do? And then we'll go into an update.
Oh, well, I mean, I think the fact that she is getting reprimanded, I think I would call it out. Like, what's the deal here? Like, I think we're past trying to address it yourself if she's going above your head. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if she's not coming to you or tagging you and being like, hey, first of all, privately messaging her and being like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but this is a typo or there's an error here or whatever the case may be. Clearly, she doesn't want to address it with you. So that just tells you that you have to CYA, right? You have to cover your ass. You have to go through the proper channels and document everything.
And also, lady, stay in your fucking lane. This is one of the stay in your fucking lane type of ones that we haven't done in a while.
Yep.
Okay. So the update, right? So the lady basically, I honestly, guys, but what advice was she given? I think she was just told to have her manager, like, go to your manager, have your manager deal with this person. Like, don't confront it yourself, right? So this person writes back and she says, when I came into the office the next morning, Jane was chastising our team assistant over the tweet when it has nothing to do with her. And I asked her to lay off. I then got an email from my manager saying we should have a chat when he came in, and I was worried I had lost my cool. Having read your response and lots of the comments, I was prepared to apologize, explain all the steps I was doing to catch social media errors sooner, proofread better, and he cut me off and said, to be clear, this is not a problem with you making typos in the tweets. This is a problem with the way Jane escalated her concern and treated our team. How nice is that, Marissa? How very rarely do we get a boss actually standing up for their employee?
And I mean, right on cue, right? Because again, that is the problem. The problem is not the mistake. The problem is how this lady went about it. Absolutely.
Yeah. He assured me that there's an office where that this is an office where everyone arrives ready to learn on the job, and that applies to both me and Jane, and that he would talk to her later, which he did, and she and I made up. It was all fine for a while. Jane had stopped with the screen grabs and tagging. There hadn't been any new mistakes for her to do that too, but still doesn't seem to trust me to do my work. She often shouts across the office or comes to my desk and loiters for ages and repeatedly tries to interrupt when I'm clearly in the middle of another conversation. I personally can deal with that, but recently 2 new, very inexperienced people have joined our team, and both have raised repeated concerns with how Jane treats our team, and that she seems to think of marketing as a service which she gets to direct, rather than a collaborative project with our own priorities. Our director is asking her manager to work with her on how she communicates to us. And in other news, members of our board have feedback to the senior management that they really love the direction our new social media team has taken in terms of tone and content over the last few months. So good news is that Jane's behavior wasn't anything to do with me personally. I have support of my team, and the bigger picture of my social media work is making a good impression. So
there's always that one person, right? There's always that one person that thinks she knows it better. She or he knows it better. They could do it better. Their opinions matter. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. Act your wage and stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Once again, ma'am, this isn't your team. This isn't your responsibility. Like, I don't know. Like, more has to be done. Again, she was saying grand boss, so that they're not from the US. People, when they usually write grand boss, I think they're Australian, is typically Australian, New Zealand way of saying a boss. But like, HR needs to be involved if they have HR there. This is just like this lady. I mean, HR, like, they really try to think.
I was gonna say, wow,
right?
She's
But like,
probably related to somebody in HR. That's why she has
right?
that fucking attitude.
But like, more has to be done about this lady and her, like, directing these people or trying to give directive to these people who are in by no means in any form of her responsibility.
Well, I think there's also the audacity, right? The audacity to
always
overstep. The audacity to overstep. Like, people out here just fucking behave themselves like there's no consequences. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody's ever put her in her place. I think I would have immediately have been like, you don't want to do that with me because I'm petty. You're going to fuck up before I do, and I'm going to call you out insistently. Like, I'm sorry. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not a person that follows company social media or my place of employment on my personal, social media accounts. I don't do that. To me,
no,
I have
you want to disassociate as much as possible.
my work life is very different from my home life, my personal life. So the fact that she's tagging the fucking CEO, it's like, who are you?
Sorry, guys. I was trying to load up a video for the story we're doing after, and I accidentally added it on stage. My bad.
No worries. But it's like, who are you? Like, who? Like, the audacity for you to turn around and tag like upper management because there's a mistake. Like, you clearly need consequences. That's crazy.
Adam with a good idea. I definitely block her account.
And you run the social medias for the team, so you can go in there and boop, boop, boop.
Good idea, Adam. I didn't even think of that. I was just like ready to just punch Jane. I was going straight
Me
to
too.
violence. Straight to violence.
Me too.
All right, Marissa. So aside from that, I just see in the chat, not much, right? Just
no, I think everybody agrees. Poker Shadow says, I have thoughts about Jane that aren't YouTube friendly. Me too. Me too.
I know the control that we have to have sometimes on this show is outrageous.
Yep.
All right, so we have time for another okay, guys. So I was downloading that because you guys liked the whiteboard video that we did earlier. So I had it. I didn't put it up because I didn't know if we were gonna have time, but we have time. So let's jump into this. Okay. So this next story is a work/life story. Okay. It works both ways.
Okay.
So as an Uber driver, you would totally be listening to everything everybody's saying, right? Be totally nosy, be totally in on what everybody's doing, right?
Absolutely.
So, right? So this is exactly what this guy did. And let's I'm gonna have him hear, like, let's hear his story, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, and then if we need to, I'll play the whiteboard video for you guys, because there's a lot of characters involved, and it's another story that has completely like spun and done its stuff because social media sleuths. So let's get into it.
Okay, this video is for Rachel. Listen, I just had 4 of your friends in my Uber tonight, and I just dropped them off in Hermosa Beach. So you're meeting up with them in Hermosa Beach tonight. But Rachel, they were saying that your dad has a real estate firm here in Hermosa Beach, California, and they said that he's money laundering and he's doing tax evasion. Also, your friend Brittany slept with your boyfriend Wyatt when y'all went to Mexico last year. And she said you broke up with Wyatt and you went with a guy named Chase. So she felt like it was her opportunity to sleep with Wyatt because they always had a connection. So her name is Melissa. Melissa said that you don't know how to dress, that she poured her heart out to you for your birthday. She bought you some shoes, and that you were ungrateful for the shoes that she got you. They're meeting up with you right now on 4th of July. And basically, these are not your friends. So I hope this video finds you, because they're clearly not your friends. And even when they got out the car, they were like, oh, you heard all our tea. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to tell her what you guys said. And they all bust out laughing. So I hope that you find this video.
I mean, first of all, I love that he said, yep, and I'm going to tell her. Like,
and tell her he did, right?
And so he did.
So he put this story out there, and boy, did it get back to Rachel.
It did. Good.
It got back to Rachel, who, okay, again, is the main player of the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the car, because now it's turned into a whole fucking series, and this guy has just he's been in touch with Rachel. He's been in touch with all the players in this fucking mess, right?
Okay.
So let's start again. So he's driving 4 girls. And I showed 3 fingers. 4 girls. Melissa and Bridget, who are the ones talking so much shit about Rachel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Taylor and Rebecca, who are there agreeing, but like not adding more. But they're also not stopping. They're also not stopping this mess, right? So anyhow, Rachel is the queen bee of the group because her dad is wealthy, very wealthy, so wealthy that he pays for her whole friend group to go on trips, like buys their plane tickets, pays for their stay, even gives them spending money.
The fucking ungratefulness of these 4 bitches.
I know. Like, what do you need, Rach? You need those shoes shined. What do you need? You need me to go iron those underwear? Let's do it.
Rachel could do no wrong in my fucking eyes, let me tell you. She'd be like, I dumped my boyfriend and I slept with his friend. He deserved it. I don't care. Absolutely.
So the story went viral, and when he dropped off, the story went viral, right? Mm-hmm. But what also went viral is the mess behind it. I saw that Airstream McQueen put, ooh, this is messy. It gets messier, guys. It gets messier. Because in the car, they're talking about 2 males, right? Wyatt and Chase. Yes. Rachel. Rachel used to date Wyatt. And then and Melissa slept with Wyatt in Mexico. Because she was mad that Rachel, whatever. She was mad at Rachel. So that was her way of getting back to him. Or getting back at her or whatever, right?
Okay.
So this guy does the video, drops him off, goes on his way. Finds out that Rachel did get the video, but Rachel reaches out to him, and she's unaware that this is happening, right? They get to the party, and it was also a 4th of July party, by the way, guys. So he's like,
guys, it was messy as fuck.
I talked to Rachel, and it gets messier.
Oof.
So should I play the whiteboard, or let's do the whiteboard, and then I think there's additional stuff that I need to fill you guys in on this, but he did a whiteboard drop for you guys as well.
Okay. Let's do it.
Who's the main character? She is the one that's connected to all of these people.
Oops, let's rewind it and let's put the volume up.
She is the one that's connected to all of these people in different groups. Melissa, Brittany, Wyatt, Chase. The Uber driver is me. I picked them up last night. Everybody except Rachel, Wyatt, and Chase. 2 unknowns as well. What ended up happening was Melissa and Brittany were talking about Rachel the whole time.
they brought up the fact that her and Wyatt were together, and while they were together, Brittany slept with Wyatt because Rachel ended up sleeping with Chase. Lo and behold, this whole time, the Uber driver's listening. While he's listening, what ended up happening was information got back to Rachel. New discovery this morning, actually, Wyatt and Chase have been messing around the whole time. This is all news to Rachel. She said she suspected it, but she didn't know for sure. So this just confirmed her suspicions. Now Rachel has finally posted her part on TikTok. She's meeting up with the Uber driver tomorrow to give you guys more information. Melissa and Brittany turned out to be fake. Wyatt and Chase are in a relationship. They don't care about anybody else in the situation.
Wow.
It gets messier, Marissa. But go
That
ahead.
was the turn that I was not expecting, was the Wyatt and Chase.
No, Wyatt and Chase are so two fights broke out in the party. One of them being because they found out that Wyatt and Chase are a couple, or like now seeing each other, right? Like in this,
but they've been seeing each other.
Yeah,
is what he said.
But what caused the fight was because while they were all partying and having a great time, Bridget is not drinking, and they're like, "Why are you not drinking?" Guess what, guys? She's pregnant from Wyatt.
Oh, hells no.
So now,
woof.
Yes, so that's what's happening. Rachel's no longer talking to that group. She went and had dinner, and it's so funny that he refers to the Uber driver instead of just
as
saying
himself,
me, right?
Yeah,
himself. But he actually went and had dinner with Rachel. And she gives him all the tea. And it's a long series, guys. I wasn't going to show you multiple videos, but I'm going to break it down for you. He pretty much goes to dinner with her, finds out everything that happened at the 4th of July party. But Chase and Wyatt have contacted him to give their side of the story. The two girls, Taylor and Rebecca, have reached out to him and given their side of the story. They're like, oh, well, you're not really going to talk about us, right? Because like we didn't really say anything. And he's like, no, you two bitches were messy as well because you didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
You were sitting there, and even though you didn't add, you didn't stop. You sat there.
Exactly.
So he called them out on the series as well. Wyatt and Chase now want to make Rebecca give Bridget give was her name Bridget or Rebecca? I already forgot.
Bridget
give custody of the child to them so that they can raise a child because she's an unfit mother. Right?
Whoa. How did we live there? Like, we're already doing custody battles?
I know. And this just happened on 4th of July. And
well, no wonder there wasn't that many fucking fireworks. People were fucking fighting.
Fighting strangers, kicking them out of their house, fighting baby daddies. I don't know what's going on, Marissa.
Oof.
I don't know what's going on with this world. But I can't believe, like, I'm telling you, one little video, again, it's like this, it's again following the same theme as the antipasta salad. You make one little video and it completely spirals. That girl, Rachel, did say she cut them off. She doesn't talk to any of them anymore. Just like, she always kind of had a feeling they were fake friends, but this just like reasserted like those feelings. And she's like, which is crazy. Oh, because then they were also trying to say, she's like, and I also can't talk to them. Like, they're saying like, implying that my dad was doing fraud and all this could really affect his business, because none of that is true. And to be that ungrateful when he has treated them to so many like trips and done so much for this group or whatever. She's like, and the funny thing is that Melissa will throw herself at my dad anytime he's around, even though my stepmom's around. Like, she's flirting with him and trying to get that sugar daddy.
Woo, my goodness. Well, I mean, it feels like the real winner here is Rachel, right? Mm-hmm. Because she cut these toxic friends out. She figured out her man's was not just her man's. It was somebody else's man's. And
so we find out through the series that Wyatt is good looking. And that's why he gets into, like, that's why he's able to do what he does, because people forgive him because he's so attractive. But he's a homosexual. Oh. So you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Were they trying to live off somebody? Like, they're just
somebody else, yeah.
Living from house to house or moving in from people to people.
Yeah.
So they were dating for 3 years, and her dad was like, okay, like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing with your life if you want to marry? Because he didn't have a job the whole time he was with her. She was basically supporting him through her dad's money. And the dad was like, all right, if this is going to progress, like, you need to get a job, you need to do something. So then that's when he's like,
Right.
oh, fuck, like, I need to find myself another sugar daddy. And then
Yeah.
I think that's when he started hooking up with Chase, who's also very rich.
This is very it's very Schitt's Creekish, not gonna lie.
I was gonna say very more like Melrose Place, very more like CW drama.
It's a little wild, but I mean, I think it's one of those where tried and true always stands, right? Is you got to be careful who you have around you, and not everyone who's around you is going to be a good friend to you. Just because you're a good friend to them doesn't mean they're going to be a good friend to you. Because the real loser here is Bridget. Like, this bitch is knocked up, already having custody battle, hating on everybody. Now she's friendless. Now she doesn't, she's not going to get the perks of being Rachel's friend. Now she's going to have to go to court to fight for her baby against Chase and Wyatt. Like, it's
a
messy.
lot of people were very angry at the Uber driver, and I just saw Daydreamer's little chat. Did we put it up already? I don't know if we did. I didn't notice if you did.
Yeah, I did, but I can put it up again. Yeah.
So he writes, I actually hate this snitch. Snitches get stitches. So a lot of people were pissed off at this Uber driver for making that video. Where do you fall on this? I mean, yes, it's messy and the story's entertaining, but really this was the whole purpose of bringing up the story. How do you feel about an Uber driver doing this?
I feel like it's fair game. You have somebody, it's like to me, anything that you put out in the internet is fair game, right? Like, that's the rule that I live by. If I don't want people commenting on things or then I don't put it out there, right? I feel like Ubers and cabs and shared spaces are the same thing. If you are out there loud mouthing and talking shit about someone and someone else listens, it's fair game. I don't consider it snitching. I feel like snitching would be if he knew that group and then went and told. But even at that, I don't think he's at fault. I think it's just these are consequences of the actions of these people, and it is what it is. It's fair game.
Absolutely. I don't think I don't
think he did anything wrong.
He's not a doctor. He does not. This is not a HIPAA violation. This is not sort of. I mean, if you're out there being messy, then this is what's going to happen. It's his car. It's his, like, license is on him. Insurance is on him. He's not. I mean, if you need to be mad at anybody, these people need to be mad at themselves for talking shit. I know that Adam agrees with Gerardo thinking that this guy sucks. I don't think this guy sucks.
But why does he suck though? Like,
because
why?
He put it out there.
But why? Why? He has nothing to lose, nothing to gain.
So his reasoning, because a lot of people were coming at him for doing this, was, look, there's a lot of stories that we all see where girls will go on these girls' trip. One of them will come back unalived, or they'll be left there, or they'll be like something
happens.
Yeah, happens. He's like, I don't know these people. I don't know her, but if it's gonna, like, he's like, we all see it all the time. It's happening more and more. He's like, so if I'm doing it and it helps her out, then so be it. So I'm like, snitch away, dude, snitch away.
I don't think that's snitching though. That's the thing, is I don't consider that snitching. Snitching to me is, all the parties involved. To me, that's snitching. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's snitching, or you go to cops or something. Like, to me, that's snitching. When you get legal authorities involved, then that's snitching. But I think, to his point, how many stories have we seen about girls thinking that they're friends with people and they don't come back, something weird happens. I mean, it's horrible, because there's a lot of people that are fake out there that, they think that they're friends with people and they actually aren't. They don't understand how to take those warning signs. They don't really, it happens a lot. So why does he suck? Because he threw it out there and these people had consequences for their actions? I don't think that sucks. I think those people suck, and I think I'm happy that they got consequences, and look at them. All
And honestly, like even at that, Marissa, a lot of stories that we do hear about bridezillas or like not even necessarily bridezillas, but about weddings where these people find out that their husband's dating, like been fucking the maid of honor or best, or like vice versa, whatever. Like it could potentially, like, what he didn't know, what if she was going to marry Wyatt, or you know what I mean? Like it just, I don't know. You're right. I'm not against it. It's against Uber policy. I looked up. Dang, Adam.
Okay, well, Uber's stupid. So
it is against Uber policy to talk about your guests. What is the policy, Adam? Right?
Yeah, I mean, write it in the chat or hop on. Let us know.
Hop on.
I still feel like it doesn't matter. Like, what if you overheard some information? Because it matters right now because it got to Rachel. What if it didn't? Because I know I've heard this like specific type of thing happen, not just in Uber. Like I remember there was this story, I think it was in New York City, where this guy was like at a coffee shop and these friend group of girls were like talking shit about another friend group of girls, and he made a video and it got out there, and they actually broke up, like the friend group broke up because of it, da da da. I'm like, I don't understand. I feel like it's one of those, like, they're saying something that's like they're hearing fucked up shit happening and they're actually talking about it and saying, hey, these people don't actually like you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
And that's happening more and more on social media, right? Like there's a bunch of people like that will be out and they'll be like, hey, if you're dating so-and-so from this state who's visiting here, he's with your like I've seen a lot of those videos, guys.
Yeah.
Those. I might have to start making a little compilation and playing it for you guys because there's so many out there. Or like, it's just crazy stuff that people are, I mean, don't talk shit out loud. Like if you don't want people to know, then don't be talking your business out loud.
Exactly.
Don't be like, there was one video, and I think I have it stored because I've been wanting to play it here and we just haven't gotten into it, where it's like a mukbanger who's like video themselves eating, right? And so she's like showing the food, blah blah blah, and behind is a man and a lady. They sit down, they eat, and she's just doing her own little video. Well, guess what, Marissa? The wife finds that video. It just happened to hop on her For You page, and she's like, oh shit, that's my husband. And the person that he says he doesn't see, that he has nothing to do with.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they weren't even talking shit, but they were out doing shady shit and still got caught. So you want to be shady, keep that indoors.
Well, that's the thing is with nowadays, you just never know. That's why you gotta, it's harder for people to do shady shit because there's people with cameras everywhere. There's people with social media everywhere. It's not as hard to get information out there and share it with masses of people, right? So, I mean, if you're doing shady shit, who knows? There might be a TikTok about you calling you out on your shady shit. I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel bad. I don't think he's in the wrong. I am typically very against snitching. But again, I think this is the right type of snitching, right?
I mean, who knows, Marissa? I might come across on my For You page a TikTok of some guy with his bass saying, my neighbor ratted me out.
My neighbor ratted me out and I lost my apartment. And then we're going to like immediately call Adam and be like, it was you, bro. It was you.
All right, Marissa, we are done looking at the time. And that's it. That was a lot of mess.
Very messy start to the month. Very messy 4th of July. But it's, this is the type of petty shit that we live for.
I mean,
I live for.
I will take this pity shit right now, guys. Like, if it's going to distract me from what's happening, I will take it and I will go down these rabbit holes of antipasto and Uber drivers, and I will do it because I need to stick my head in the sand for a little bit.
Agreed. But with that said, thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Any housekeeping items?
No, next week we will have Fluggy. Fluggy will be on with another Go Flug Yourself.
Love it. Cannot wait. Thank you all. We'll be here with Fluggy next Thursday at 7:30 Central. You guys do time zone math on yours. Thank you all.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. And I do also have to promote. Tia has put together a no skips marathon on Station Head. So it's been cool. So it started today. It's going to go on through Sunday. Different like show hosts, playing some of their like favorite no skips. Which, by the way, what does no skips mean to you? I'm sorry. Just quickly, I know we're going to go over time with this, but
you don't skip a song. You don't skip the song. You just
thank you.
Listen to the whole thing from start to finish.
So I thought that's what it was going to be, but no, Tia's very nice to them and let them like pick different albums and just pick songs. If they didn't want to play the whole album, I would have been like, no, motherfuckers, you're playing the whole album because that's
absolutely
the marathon is you play the whole album. But regardless, guys, they're playing some really good music right now on Station Head. Go to Tia's Instagram. She's got the schedule up, and that's it. That's all the housekeeping.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Definitely check out the No Skips Marathon on Station Head. We'll catch you all here next week. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and we'll catch you here next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Printer jams, management schemes, and toxic plans. Your job's a joke, we can relate. Welcome to work life, the thing we all hate. Erika and Marissa, your workplace queens, sharing nightmares straight from the scenes. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here, but at least we can laugh through the tears. Erika and Marissa have seen it all, from cubicle fights to the bathroom stall balls. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here, from the break room drama to the bosses here. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here, from the break room drama to the bosses here. We hate it here, oh, we hate it here, so grab a seat, it's horror premiere. Office gossip, printer jams, management schemes, and toxic plans. Your job's a joke, oh, we can relate. Welcome to work life, the thing we all hate. Erika and Marissa, your workplace queens, sharing nightmares straight from the scenes. We hate it here, yeah, we hate it here, but at least we can laugh through the tears.